happy holidays. Welcome back to the final episode of Naperville Sports Weekly in the year 2022. I'm your host, Josiah Schuneman. It's another busy week in prep sports with several interesting games on the docket. One of those games includes a crosstown classic between Naperville North and Naperville Central in boys basketball.
It's crosstown classic time as Naperville North comes into their second home conference game after a triple overtime thriller against DeKalb. The visiting Redhawks are still in search of their first conference win of the season. Hawks trail by 6 early on, and after multiple rebound opportunities, it's Grady Cooper-Kawa on the wing and sinks the triple to make it a 6-3 deficit. Huskies keep pouring it on when they have the ball. Cole Arl passes to Jacob Nolan, who scores with the defender in his face, and it's 11-7 Dogs. Now North tries out the 3-ball, and Bryce Welch is that lucky contestant by taking a shot from the corner, and it's good. 18-9 Blue and Orange after 1. In the second quarter, Nolan is at it again, but this time he puts in a filthy reverse layup. The nasty move extends the North lead to 20-9. There's so much fun on the court, Luke Williams is nowhere to be seen. Oh, there he is, getting the steal, and takes it the length of the court for the easy deuce. Redhawks are just trying to score any way possible, so they get some help from Simon Krugliakovis, who floats it in. Huskies keep on rolling, and Nolan fakes out everyone by assisting to Cole Arl, and his 3-ball takes a long spin, but it goes in. Then just before the break, Arl finds Williams, who gets the tough shot to go to beat the buzzer. 38-15 Blue and Orange at the half. New half, same Dogs, and same Luke Williams. He gets the hoop and the harm to lead his squad with 18 points. Let's end the night with some jams. Big man Charlie Farrell is all alone in the paint and throws it down. Huskies cruise past their rival to jump to 2-1 in the DVC.
It's Friday night, featuring the Battle of the Valleys as Neuqua Wildcats host the Mattia Mustangs in an important conference game early in the season. The Wildcats look to remain undefeated in the DVC and extend their 5-game winning streak, while the Mustangs come in looking to bounce back after losing their game to Oswego East earlier this week. The Mustangs get off to a quick start as Will Asford drives into the lane and draws the foul, finishing with the and one. Mustangs stay on the offensive as Quentin Schaefer dishes it out to Ja'Kai Gray, who hits nothing but net on the corner 3. Wildcats get their offense going as Luke Kincaid receives the inbound pass and nails the step-back jumper. Some nice passing from the Wildcats gets Nick Landino involved as he gets the and one after strong and physical play inside the paint. Mustangs keep it pushing in the second. This time, Javion Grizzle comes off the bench and finishes with a smooth layup from underneath the basket. Kincaid continues to lead for the Wildcats, this time swishing the three-pointer over Grizzle from the top of the key. Mustangs' Nick Schroeder shows his bunnies on this play as he gets the putback from the rebound off Schaefer's attempted three-pointer. It's a close matchup as the Wildcats lead the Mustangs 24-22 at the half. Chris Serbinoff dribbles down the baseline and gets the floater to go, keeping it a competitive contest in the third. Mattia's scoring, though, doesn't let up. James Parker threads the needle to find Jackson Corbett, finishing through the contact and getting the and one call. Kincaid keeps killing it from behind the arc, this time hitting the step back 3, giving the Wildcats a slim lead over the Mustangs. Mustangs answer right back though. Parker again with some nice passing finds Schaefer on the baseline. He finishes the play and Mustangs stay within striking distance, down 33-39 at the end of the third. Nikwa begins the fourth quarter on the attack. Colin Garrity passes it to Serbanov, who swishes the mid-range jumper. Parker takes over for the Mustangs. He drives to the basket, splits the defenders, and finishes at the rim with finesse. The Wildcats, though, put the game to bed, moving from one end of the floor to the other. Kincaid kicks it out to Garrity, and he drains the corner three. Neuqua Valley win at home and move to 3-0 in the DVC, beating Mattia Valley 57-50.
The first half was great. We ran our plays just like we studied in practice. We were slow. We didn't let them quicken us up. We stayed slow. We waited for our shot and we hit them.
We go back to boys basketball for the latest play of the week from Naperville North forward Jacob Nolan, who shows off the silky smooth moves. In the first half, Naperville North's Jacob Nolan takes a pass and goes along the baseline, avoiding defenders with a beautiful up and under reverse layup for two. It's poetry in motion as the play helps the Huskies expand the lead. Eventually, they are able to defeat their rival and defend the home court. And Jacob Nolan brings home the latest Naperville Sports Weekly Play of the Week.
Coming up, we have more basketball, but on the girls' side, here on NSW.
Hey, you want to join our rewards program? Collect hot dog points to unlock access to our VIP lounge.
That doesn't seem very...
rewarding. With a BMO Savings Builder account, you get a cash reward for every month you save.
Wait, so you're gonna reward me for saving my own money?
You got it. A little incentive to help you get into the habit of saving.
That sounds great, but do you have VIPs?
Yeah, absolutely. We call them customers.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
We move to girls basketball for another crosstown showdown between the Huskies and the Redhawks at Naperville North High School.
The crosstown rivalry is back, this time with girls basketball, as the Huskies take on the Redhawks in an early season DVC battle. Naperville North is looking to move above 500, while Naperville Central aims to win their first conference game this season. Huskies' Layla Henderson puts the Huskies on board first as she drains a three-pointer right after tip-off. Peyton Fenner gets the pass from Abby Drendel, and she hits nothing but net from behind the arc. Central struggled early, but freshman sensation Trinity Jones got the Redhawks' first points on the night as she grabbed her own rebounds and finished off the glass. The Huskies force a string of turnovers to create a demanding lead. Henderson, being the main culprit, intercepts the pass from Kelly Tumilty and finishes at the rim. Jones pulls up from deep and sinks the three-pointer to end the first quarter. Huskies lead the Redhawks 20-13. Another Redhawk turnover falls into the hands of Abby Drendel. She handles the rock with care and takes it coast to coast, finishing at the rim. Abby Hammond gets in on the act as she hits the three-pointer from the top of the key. Hammond showing that she can score everywhere on the floor. After some intricate passing from the Huskies, she finishes inside the paint. Naperville North takes the commanding lead at the half, 35-21. Central come out the second half looking to score. Kelly Tumilty forces the turnover and gets the layup for an and one, getting to the free throw line. Peyton Fenner picks up where she left off once again as she nails the three from deep. Central continues to force the issue, this time Ella Burke driving into the lane and drawing the foul. She makes the free throw to chip away at the deficit. Redhawks stay on the attack. Kelly Tumilty finishes in transition with a smooth Euro step as she finishes at the rim. However, Henderson answered right back, scoring the banking long-range two-pointer. North leads Central 50-37 heading into the fourth. The Huskies continue to keep their foot on the gas. Sydney Fink's quick hands forces a turnover and finds Fenner for the easy layup. Central finds points as Tumilty grabs the air ball and kicks it out to Burke, who nails the three-pointer from dead center. Fink's defending caused problems for the Redhawks all night. She put the icing on the cake, forcing another turnover and finishing at the rim for the and one. Naperville North protect home court as they beat arch rivals Naperville Central 62-53.
We got DVC action at Mattia Valley, where the Mustangs welcome Neuqua Valley in hopes of their first conference victory. Meanwhile, the Wildcats could remain undefeated in conference with a win against their DVC foe. In the early going, Reina Pentala finds Srili Dugarala cutting backdoor, and she finishes in traffic. It's 5-5 after 3 minutes of action. On the other end, Nalia Clifford catches the pass in the paint, maneuvers through the defense, and gets the hoop and the harm. Her successful free throw puts the Wildcats on top 12-7. Just a minute later, Clifford is wide open at the top of the key, and she drains the three-pointer. This one extends the lead to 10. Now with some momentum, Caitlin Washington leads the Wildcats in transition and finishes with a smooth runner off the glass. Immediately after the bucket, Washington hangs out in the backcourt and applies full court pressure on the ball handler. She's able to wrestle it away and complete the play with a finger roll. Neuqua is on an 11-0 run and forces a timeout with a 21-7 lead. After the timeout, the Mustangs are looking for a spark. Dugarala snags the offensive board, misses the lay-in, but Jamie Nosek is there to convert on the third attempt at the rim. It's 21-11 at the end of the first. Now in the second quarter, Kylie Norkus jumps the passing lane and speeds by the defense for another layup. The Wildcats now hold a 12-point lead midway through the second. Now facing a sizable deficit, Lucy Burke penetrates into the paint and sends a slick bounce pass to Nosek, who converts on the layup. Mattia is down 31-13. Back on the other end, Caitlin Washington uses the screen to get by the defense and then finds Michaela Stone on the roll to lay it in. Wildcats go up by 19. At the end of the half, the Wildcats swing the ball around and it winds up in Ellie Wisner's hands as she sinks the jump shot just before the buzzer. Neuqua heads into the half with a 39-18 lead. The Wildcats continue their dominance in the second half. Washington on the fast break, and she connects with Tia Polakidis in the middle of the lane for the transition bucket. Neuqua goes on to capture a 65-32 road victory over Mattia. The girls' gymnastics season is back, but there are some big changes on the mats for the three Valley schools, where rivals have become teammates. Patrick Cotto has the latest feature story, sponsored by Edward Elmhurst Health.
Since Mattia Valley opened its doors in 2009, girls interested in gymnastics had their chance to compete with gymnasts from Waubonsie Valley with the creation of the Waubonsie Mattia Co-op. The team produced regional champions in 2011 and 2012, as well as numerous sectional and state individuals. Fast forward to 2022, and a third Valley member is being added to the pack in the form of Neuqua Valley. This winter, the athletic departments officially put together the District 204 Co-op, featuring all three Valley schools as one combined team.
The girls have all adapted really well. They're working really well together and really hard together, and I think it'll be great for all of them.
The formation came after low numbers in past seasons for the Waubonsie Mattia Co-op, along with the departure of previous head coach Phil Gilmer, who left the program after the 2021 shortened season. Even with the addition of Ashley Python taking over, the program was in need of a change. Eventually, the decision was made to join forces with their former rival.
So a lot of them train together outside, so in the off season they work out together, or they have in the past. So most of them already knew each other. So it was a really easy transition, I think, for the majority of them. But we've done some team building and just little fun activities to get them to know each other, and it's worked out well.
Katie Novorolski enters her 6th season with Neuqua Valley, but this is her first with the co-op structure. Despite coaching the Blue and Gold in the past, she is no stranger to the other schools in the district as she teaches at Waubonsie Valley. Being familiar with all these schools helps create a smooth transition.
It's really nice to be able to coach kids in the school that I teach at and to be able to see them in the halls, and it's just a lot more fun to get to know them a little bit better when you see them at school too.
Seeing a larger talent pool come together should certainly make this newly formed team a formidable threat as the season goes along, especially when it comes to advancing through regionals, sectionals, and the state meet. As for the gymnasts themselves, the girls from Waubonsie and Metea Valley have obviously gotten along for a while. Now with Neuqua in the mix, it was a little challenging at first, but with a month into the season, all the pieces have come together.
It was definitely a big adjustment because we all didn't know each other going into it, but just after 3 weeks we've gotten to know each other and we're all starting to work as a team, which is great.
Girls like Haley Mitchell, Stephanie Speck, who were on the original co-op, along with Zara Jin, and 4-year varsity gymnast Lauren Cordero from Neuqua Valley all returned to help lead the charge in the gymnastics room. For athletes like Cordero, the new enhanced roster helps push her and the rest of the team's competition to new heights.
I actually really enjoy it, combining with them, because during competitions we would sometimes talk to each other and I wouldn't really think of them as rivals. But now that we all get to combine, we get to spend each other every day with each other, and I actually really like that. So,
as the co-op enters its first season with 2 meets under their belt, it will be exciting to see what the gymnast and the rest of the coaching staff will bring to the table this winter.
It's a special experience to be able to be a part of it, and like I said, coaching kids that I have taught in the classroom and now bringing it all into here and getting everyone to work together has just been a great experience, and really love all of the athletic departments at all 3 schools. So again, just being able to be a part of all of it.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Patrick Cotto.
In these complicated times, local news has never been more important. DailyHerald.com lets you stay connected to your community, wherever you are.
We were there when your kid discovered poison ivy.
Now remember, leaves of 3.
Let it be.
We were there for that, and we're here for everything else. Here, it's personal, because we get to know you.
We stay on the mats, but this time we visit the wrestlers with Neuqua Valley taking on Metea Valley. We got a DVC wrestling match at Neuqua Valley as 2 teams look to get their first win in conference play and build some momentum. The Wildcats come into this meet losing to Oak Park River Forest, while the Mustangs lost to the Waubonsie Valley Warriors. Let's begin with the 160-pound clash between Metea Valley's Connor Norton and Neuqua Valley's John Nurodinov. Nurodinov goes for the takedown. Norton is hanging in there for the Mustangs, but the ref stops it, and the points go to the Wildcats. They take the early 6-0 lead. Next up is the 195-pound match between Mustang Zuhair Beg taking on Wildcat Saf Mir. These two would be in for quite a battle as Beg goes for the pin, but the referee stops it and we go to another round. In round 2, these two keep battling for momentum. Beg tries to get the pin, but Mir breaks free. In round 3, both wrestlers try to secure crucial points for their teams. Beg is not able to get the pin and the points go to Mir and the Wildcats. They now lead 14-0. Now we go to the 285-pound matchup between Wildcat Alex Marks and Mustang Ramon Arteaga. Arteaga goes straight for the takedown and gets Marks on his back. Marks is not able to break away and the Mustangs finally get on the board. They trail 18-6. On to the 106-pound matchup between Davey Marais of Metea Valley taking on Neuqua Valley's Brady Podracki. These two have been fighting to get points, and Podracki tries to pin down Marais. He does just enough to get it for the Wildcats to extend their lead to 24-6. Up next is the 113-pound match with Matthew Shaw of the Mustangs battling Ish Bandla. Shaw goes for the takedown on Bandla, and he hangs on till the buzzer as the Mustangs get the points. They trail 24-9. In our last matchup of the night, we have the 126-pound matchup between Metea Valley's Arjo Basu against Neuqua Valley's Jad Eslamani. The Wildcats are back in control as they look to extend their lead. Eslamani holds Basu down to get the pin. Neuqua Valley cruises to a dominant victory by a score of 51-15 and gets its first DVC Conference win of the season.
It's senior night at Naperville North as the Huskies honor their seniors before a crosstown showdown with Naperville Central. The grappling Redhawks fly in with a 2-0 DVC record. The night begins with the 285 match. Central's Chase Enfield sweeps the leg of Husky Alex Kuscherbach and quickly gets him on his back. From there, Enfield gets the pin to fire up the Hawks with a 6-0 lead. At 120 pounds, North's Aiden Hinkle is in a nail-biter with Vince Byrne. Early on, Hinkle keeps his will on his opponent, but later it's Byrne pulling the reverse and takes control of the match. In the third period, Hinkle finally has Byrne where he wants him and pins him to tie the match up at 9. The Redhawks are thrilled to have state qualifier Ethan Olson back for his senior year as he wrestles in his first conference match. His opponent is Tyler Sternstein, and Olson is getting all the points he can. Olson keeps his opponent up in the air, but Sternstein finds himself on top, but time winds down in the second period. In the third, Olson maintains his cool and takes care of Sternstein by 3 points to break the tie. Larry Stubish keeps his foot on the gas pedal, showing absolutely no love to Clayton Champion. Both wrestlers light it up on the scoreboard in this match, but Stubish scores enough to get him the win and keep the flow going for Central. We have overtime in the 160-pound clash as Red Hawk John Carnes gets a single-leg takedown on Husky Kai Goodrick, and that's all he needs to win the match. Despite the run for Central, North stops the bleeding at 170 with Modest Budricus. He turns over Joe Thomas and holds him down long enough for the pin. However, this night was a Red Hawk dominance. Jacob Smithers at 195 picks up a major decision on Zach Schmidt, and Central takes the matchup 43-19.
Neuqua Valley facing Metea Valley in girls basketball. Wildcat standout Caitlin Washington runs the break and scores on a nice high arcing bank shot. Washington then applies some pressure in the backcourt. She makes the steal and finishes for 2 more with the finger roll. A personal 4-point run in the span of 5 seconds helps Neuqua Valley pull away and secure the victory over the Mustangs. Caitlin Washington continues her winning ways for the Naperville Sports Weekly Play of the Week.
After the break, we'll show you boys swimming here on NSW.
Hey, you want to join our rewards program? Collect hot dog points to unlock access to our VIP lounge.
That doesn't seem very...
Rewarding? With a BMO Savings Builder account, you get a cash reward for every month you save.
Wait, so you're going to reward me for saving my own money?
You got it. A little incentive to help you get into the habit of saving.
That sounds great, but do you have VIPs?
Yeah, absolutely. We call them customers.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
Do you want all the most exciting highlights from your student-athlete's high school career? Relive all your favorite stories and moments from the past few seasons of Naperville Sports Weekly by purchasing digital downloads. Go to nctv17.org/shop to order today. Let's jump in the pool and take a look at boys swimming with Waubonsie Valley traveling to Metea Valley.
It's time to dive into the pool for a boys swimming Eola Bowl. Waubonsie Valley travels down the road to take on DVC foe Metea Valley. Starting off the meet with the 200-yard medley relay. We only have 3 squads in this race, but coming out on top is a group of warriors that includes Sean Ball, Nathan Wayne, Tyler Bardak and Alex Schwartz. Next up is a 200-yard freestyle. This race includes one of the DVC's top swimmers in Jaden Gamilla, and to no surprise, he wins this race with a time of 1:44.90, 5 seconds ahead of Keon Lamb. The 200-yard IM is our next race. All 4 of the swimmers are close throughout the first lap, but pulling away from the pack towards the end is Luke Martins, who finishes with a time of 2:04.85. Now it's time for the shortest race in the 50-yard freestyle, and we have a close finish between Sam Lohman, Henry Marchand, and Alex Schwartz, who finishes in that order respectively. Doubling the distance for the 100-yard butterfly. Starting the race in front is Jaden Gamilla, and finishing the race out in front is Gamilla, who finishes with a time of 51:35. Continuing the action with the 100-yard freestyle. This was another close race that eventually ends with Tyler Bardak touching the wall first, 0.39 seconds ahead of Arpan Dar. For our final race, we flip over for the backstroke. This was a competitive one that came down to the final second. And for the third race in a row, it's Tyler Bardak again who touches the wall first. An impressive night from Bardak helps Waubonsie Valley dominate the meet as they walk out of Metea Valley with a 118-44 win.
Really excited. Time flew by really quickly. I can't believe it's my last season, but I really want to make the best of it. You know, there's a lot to gain through practices and training throughout this next block of the season, so I'm really excited about it. I heard throughout the races, that's kind of what we want. I still kind of hit me. I forgot how bad these meets hurt. So definitely get used to it and get used to like the nerves going into the meet. But I think it's going to be a good step heading forward to end of the season. But
we head to Naperville Central on senior night, where the Red Hawks boys swimming team hosts Neuqua Valley in a DVC matchup. Both teams are getting in one final dual meet before they square off again this weekend at the Neuqua Swim and Dive Invite. We begin the meet in the 200-yard medley relay, where Naperville Central's Matt Johnson, Alex Lakin, Patrick Stern, and Quentin Sanders pull away with a commanding win from start to finish. Diving into the 200-yard freestyle, Neuqua's Alex Parkinson pulls away with the win, but it's a close battle for second. Wildcat Stephen Anderson edges out Central's Max Gutsch by less than half a second for second place. Moving to the 200-yard individual medley, Central's Alex Lakin shows off his dominance and finishes 7 seconds ahead of Neuqua's Dima Kondrashev. The Red Hawks get a third-place finish too with Robert Hargrove. The 50-yard freestyle proves to be a good one here, with 3 swimmers finishing under a second behind first. Mason Schmidt gets the win for Central and is followed by Ryan Emmons of Neuqua. Now to the final individual race of the night in the 100-yard breaststroke, which is dominated once again by Alex Lakin of the Red Hawks. Neuqua does a solid job finishing in second and third place behind Lakin. Wrapping up the night in the 400-yard freestyle relay, Neuqua's Alex Parkinson, Stephen Anderson, Christopher Cottrell, and Dima Kondrashev get the win, but the battle for second place is very close. Central's A relay team sneaks in for second, and the Red Hawks pick up the win on senior night. Senior Alex Lakin leads the way, picking up a couple of wins for Naperville Central. That'll do it for the show. We will not have a show next week due to winter break, so once again, this is the final show until January 8th. If you want to see next week's hockey highlights and Naperville North facing Bennett Academy in girls basketball, you can check it out on our website, nctv17.org, where you can also find our extended highlights and stories. You can also find us on social media at NCTV17 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Josiah Schuneman. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.